This video is all about my Obsidian Vault and how I was able to connect it to my Neovim setup. Let's get started. Okay, so let's open up my Obsidian Vault and see what we're working with. So opening it up, you can immediately see that I've got a very dark and minimal color theme. So this kind of matches my entire setup. So if we take a look at my terminal, for example, you can see that it's also the same kind of just black and white pattern, and the same applies for my Neovim setup. So I wanted to kind of match that with my Obsidian Vault, and the way I did that is using a community plugin called CSS Snippets, or rather style settings, because in there you can define CSS snippets that allow you to alter how Obsidian looks. So if I were to disable this CSS file that I created myself, you can see right here everything falls apart and it starts looking very bland and default-like. So that's why I created my own CSS file to compensate for that. Moving on, we can take a look at my directory structure right here, and you can see right here I've separated my vault into 5 main folders. I've got templates for notes that follow the same pattern, so we've got daily notes, idea notes, or university lectures. Then I've got projects that I'm working on, so you can see right here I've got an 8-bit breadboard PC that I'm working on currently, which is this guy right here. I'll soon be making videos about it, so stay tuned. Then I've got my text editor that I'm working on currently, Teddit, and also YouTube. Well, I guess YouTube isn't really a project, right? But it's still something that I'm working on, so I thought it would be okay to categorize it under projects. And taking a look at there, I've got notes and progress folders for the 8-bit breadboard PC. For Teddit, I just got to-dos that I have to add. And for YouTube, I've got the thumbnails in here, for example, and also the videos as files. Moving on, we can see right here that I've also got notes, and these are the daily notes that I'm taking. And taking a look at the daily note structure, the only 2 real things I have is tasks, so tasks that I want to accomplish for the day, and journaling. And this usually is just 1 sentence summing up the day. It's kind of nice to look back at the summed up version, so I thought it'd be nice to just have a sentence describing the day. And yeah, that's pretty much it for these 3 folders. But moving on to the most essential folder, in my opinion, is the education folder. So in there I spend most of my time as of right now. So the Obsidian setup that I created isn't that old, right? It's fairly new, and it's also fairly new for me to work with Obsidian. But this education folder is something where I'll be spending most of my time in, since this folder focuses on learning and understanding new concepts, whether it's about programming or just in general school and university. And you can see right here that I've got a few books as a PDF file that I want to read, and I've also created a book view showcasing these different kinds of books. Clicking on a certain book, for example C++ software design, opens up this database entry inside of here, and then you can click on the PDF to actually start reading the book. And yeah, I've bought all of these books on Humble Bundle. It's a great website where you can get very, very great deals. So I've got all of these books for just $20, which is crazy. And yeah, you should definitely check this website out. Yeah, but moving on, you can see right here I've got also a CPP folder for C++ concepts. For example, I'm watching a lot of CPP Weekly recently, and for that I've been taking notes about each lecture and what I've learned in there. So yeah, that is quite useful as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the directory structure. Another thing I have is the calendar plugin and a graph view showcasing the different kinds of notes and files I have in my vault. And yeah, we can even take a look at the community plugins that I've installed. I didn't add that many. So we've got calendar for the calendars by code style, which formats your code blocks, and style initializes them, then the file explorer node count, so how many files are there, Iconize to add icons, Kanban to create Kanban boards, MediaDB to make database queries for certain books. For example, that's how I got the images. The minimal theme setting as a base, and then style settings to apply this monochrome style that I've previously already shown. But I've mentioned that I take a lot of notes inside of here, right? But surprisingly, I don't write anything inside of Obsidian. What I do instead is I use Neovim, and I have a few configurations and plugins that connect Obsidian and Neovim very seamlessly. And the only thing I really use Obsidian for is to then finally like visualize it, see it, and just work with it. But the actual editing and writing happens inside of Neovim. So let me show you that side. So let's actually open up a terminal and switch to this current vault. So right now we are in that vault, and let's now open up Neovim. And I've got a few handy shortcuts and plugins added such that the integration and connection between Neovim and Obsidian is very minimal. So you can see right here I can press leader OD, and with that I now open up the current daily node, and I even created it, and you can see right here. And now I can start filling up these tasks. So for example, a task for today is that I have to create this video. So let's add that. Have to create this video. And now I can mark that task as done with leader OC to check it, and I can even press leader OO to open that in the current instance of Obsidian. Another cool thing we have is we can search through files very easily, so we can press OS, so leader OS, and I don't know, let's try to open up the thing about lambdas. So here we have a topic about lambdas and how they're creating anonymous classes and stuff like that. Now, what if we wanted to check what kind of other nodes link to it? Well, we can press leader OB to see its backlinks, and we can see right here lecture 37 links to that. And then when you open it, we can see in the same line we've got this node linking or referring to this other node. So if I press GF, it goes to that node. Another thing we can do is do a quick search to change the current file. So we can do, for example, we can change to the value initialization file, and additionally we can add links very easily by doing something like this. For example, say this is a topic about a certain book, so what we'll do is we'll press leader OQ once again, and it's about the book of C++ high performance, like so. What we'll do is we'll press Control L, and now you can see that I've got a reference to it, and if I press GF, we are going to that file. And that is very, very nice to have, especially when like working on the education directory. You can add that very easily. And yeah, I could just go on. I've got a lot more in here, so I can add templates, I can take a look at the just overview of the entire structure, so the table of contents for a certain DMD file, and more. But you can see right here the possibilities of connecting these two applications is very endless. However, what I want to do right now is just briefly show you how I did that inside of my Neovim configuration. And yeah, let's just move to that and take a look at what I did. So opening up my Neovim setup, you can see right here that I've got a certain plugin specifically for Obsidian, and this plugin is from this guy called AppWalsh or something, and it's called obsidian.envim. And we've got all of these commands that we can use, and I've also binded them to these different types of key maps, right? And yeah, you can see right here it wasn't that difficult at all, and if you want to take a deeper look at it, you can check out my config at my GitHub. But the connection to create between the two wasn't difficult at all. So yeah, that's it for my entire Neovim plus Obsidian setup and how the two applications connect. I hope you could take away a thing or two from this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a subscribe and leave a like on the video. And yeah, bye bye.